Good morning, Patriots. JT here, Serenity Farms prepping. 29 balmy degrees. Oh, the greenhouse survived. It always stays 6-7 degrees warmer in there. Little frost on a pumpkin this morning, literally. All right, let's talk about Nordstream 2. There seems to be a lot of misconception, alternative ideas as to who and why and what would be gained. Okay, first let's talk Russia. All right, so that Nord Stream 1 and 2 are Russian pipelines. Number 2 was not online yet, and number 1 had been turned off but was full. They need to keep the pressure in there. The natural gas puts a pressure that pushes out against the force of the ocean water pushing in. Common sense. There are valves strategically located all throughout the pipeline in case there's a leak or other incident that they can turn off sections so that they can work on them. As we know, the sun is coming out. I'm sorry, hang on one second, please. You get to look at my ugly face, but I'm blind right now. Okay, sorry. So, we know the after Russia had been kicked out of SWIFT by the Democrat regime and the other traitorous NATO countries, they said, fine, no problem. We have the fuel pipeline to Germany and almost all of Europe. So now if you want anything, you're going to get it from us, and you're basically going to pay whatever we ask, or you're going to freeze. So they were. Everybody was paying. So Russia was making a lot of money. And Russia, the country, doesn't have a lot of money. But nonetheless, they were making money. Nobody else was. So why would Russia blow up their own pipeline? Short answer is, they wouldn't. They need the money. They were in complete control. Germany, at some point here, very quickly, because all these green frickin' weenie countries had decided they were going to kill their own people this winter, Germany was going to be told, stop supporting Ukraine and we'll turn the heat back on. They were going to do it. Right now, German people are clear cutting every piece of wood and tree they can find in Germany to try and heat their homes. Not realizing, a lot of these people, that the wood they're cutting right now, that's not going to burn very well. Anyone who's ever made a fire understands wood needs to be seasoned at least a year, depending on the size of the pieces and the airflow and all that good stuff. Nonetheless, very soon, Germany will have no trees, and the green weenies will be screaming on that. Okay, now what does, and Germany being part of NATO, that's all connected, so the theory is all the same there. Not coincidentally, a smaller pipeline from Poland to Germany came online either the same day, or within a day of the Nord Stream sabotage. All right, so what does the USA have to gain? Well, one, we know they're trying to force a war with Russia. The Democrats have always tried to make Russia a boogeyman that was going to be responsible for anything and everything, especially stuff that didn't go their way. Don't we know it? So, the Biden regime, coincidentally, there were naval exercises at the pipeline just a few days before. This happens with almost every false flag we've seen, doesn't it? With Democrat regimes. So, the U.S. needs the NATO countries to keep their backbones stiff. And they weren't going to do it as their people are beginning to riot, loot, assault, burn, and murder, and freeze to death and starve to death this winter, all because of climate change and a global collapse that they want. So those European countries are all losing their nerve for this. They were dragged into this by elites and the Democrat regime, and they're regretting it. So Germany was going to cave, and then the rest of the European countries would have caved really quick. So by the U.S. blowing up the pipeline, Germany, they have any choice now. They're not going to get any fuel, natural gas, from Russia. Poland can't supply nearly enough. They have to stay in the fight. The U.S., so the U.S. they're already floating rumors. Russia blew it up themselves. And while it's always a possibility, someone explained to me one valid reason why they would. Refute the reasons I gave you that Russia would not blow up their own pipeline. Okay, the U.S. has every reason to do it based on what they want to do to the United States and the rest of the world and Russia. So, that's where it leaves us. The big question now on many of your minds is how will combine this with the fact that Ukraine signed in with NATO, which was the one thing Russia had said do not do. And then the 4 regions in Ukraine became parts of Russia again. Remember the peace deal back in March that UK bad hair dude and pedo Joe refused. Very simple. Ukraine don't join NATO. Russia will pull back to its original borders. Cut, dried, let's negotiate. The US and NATO do not want any negotiations because all negotiations will do is further highlight the scam, scheme, warmongering that is going on at this time. So they have basically eliminated, they can negotiate now with Russia if they want to, but they're not going to, or it'll be some half-ass attempt to intentionally get them to go nuclear. So that's where we're all at. Now, no matter what you think of Putin, he's smarter than the Democrat regime. He appears to be more level-headed. So we are going to see how much more intentional sabotage and antagonizing will Putin take before he is left no alternative. He is not going to nuke Europe and the U.S. just for the hell of it. The U.S. may do it just for the hell of it to get him to respond. I expect some sort of very ugly false flag perpetrated by the Democrats very, very soon. I hope I'm wrong. I pray I'm wrong, but they've told us. They promised it was going to happen. He said it wasn't going to be Russia, 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 but you know they're going to do something. That's what they do. All right. That's all I got for now. Keep you updated as I know things. Like, share, subscribe, comment, notification bell. JT signing out.